We welcome your month, we all adore. We pray for happiness and more. To all the people, open up your door. Peace, love and joy. Let them soar, let them soar. Ramadan, Ramadan, welcome holy month Ramadan. Ahlan Ramadan. أحلى القوافي والنشيد في مقدم الشهر السعيد. النور في الدنيا يزيد والرب تواب شكور. أحلى القوافي والنشيد في مقدم الشهر السعيد. النور في الدنيا يزيد والرب تواب شكور. والرب تواب شكور. رمضان رمضان welcome holy month Ramadan.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما. Inshallah, tonight بإذن الله تعالى is our first day of our event. As we mentioned that today بإذن ta'ala we are going to have our very important lecture. As we mentioned that we are going to have a series of lectures بإذن ta'ala, and these lectures, they are going to be very much beneficial, especially for our youth. 21st of May 2017 بإذن ta'ala, very much few days now to Ramadan. And as we find that the topic has already been established for us, that we are going to talk about Ramadan is coming. A reminder for us all. That's the topic. Ramadan is coming. A reminder for us. So we find that Ramadan in itself, it is a reminder for us. Ramadan in itself, you find that it is something that reminds for us. And what does it remind us? It reminds us that there is a great blessing that is going to come. A great month that is going to come. It's a very much important day, very important month. And that is why you can see that in Dawah group, we have called it our first annual Ramadan Dawah Whatsapp group. Yeah, it's the first one. It's our first event ever that we have done, especially in WhatsApp group. And inshallah, this is not only available in WhatsApp group, but is also available in Facebook. It's also available, inshallah, in Clip. Clip is I'll give you the website, don't worry, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. It's also available, that audio, the video now will be available also bi'idhnillahi ta'ala in, inshallah, YouTube. And all of it is doing for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Facebook. Number 2, you go now to YouTube, you go to WhatsApp, you go to Clip. And you find that we're going to introduce more and more, inshallah, all is for the sake of Allah. But that, now let us just stay with that. With that we have, we are happy, alhamdulillah. But still we need to improve. We are going to put, inshallah, more things, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But first of all, Ramadan is coming. This is a reminder for us all. And let me start by saying that we find that this blessed of Ramadan now, it is usually, very much fast approaching. And inshallah, for some of us now, it is like a long awaited friend. It's a very much, awaited friend of ours. We have been waiting for it. Whom you find that is very much dear to us. We are very much dear to that Ramadan. And we can't wait to greet and meet it. And sadly, for others, it is a burden, or it is just another month. It is just another month. So some of us, they think, they are waiting for this friend of ours. They are waiting for Ramadan to come. But for the others, you find that it is a trouble. It's a burden for them. They don't want even Ramadan to come. Who are they? We have to check on ourselves, check on our iman. What is it saying us? Are we waiting for Ramadan, or what are we waiting for? What are we really waiting for? You should have started even your preparations for Ramadan. And that's why bi'idhnillah we have this lecture. So that we are reminded Ramadan is coming, my friends. Ramadan is coming, my brothers and sisters. So, we find that why not make a change this Ramadan and really make an effort in trying to maximize your good deeds and minimizing your bad deeds, and make those extra sacrifices in pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal. The people, you find that they are maximizing the good deeds in this Ramadan. But some others, they are not doing anything. They are not putting any chain on themselves. They're just staying like that. There's a problem. This is the problem for us. We have to check on ourselves. What are we doing? What have we done for Ramadan? And what are we waiting for? Are we not even a person who is honored to have this Ramadan? You are not honored for this Ramadan? Yes? Some people are sacrificing, and you are still playing your video games in Ramadan? This is a joke, my friends. This is a joke. You're playing video games in Ramadan. So what I'm saying is that we find that we should be maximizing the good deeds, and we should be minimizing our bad deeds. And we should be making extra sacrifices in pleasing Allah Azza wa Jalla. And by doing so, I assure you, my friend, that you will feel the essence and the spirituality of Ramadan. You will feel and you will test the sweetness of Iman, inshallah. You will test it, my friend. And for my brothers and sisters now, you find that who are not practicing, and those who are indulged, and they are drowning in sins, know that Allah Ta'ala, He is the most merciful, and He loves you, my friend. He loves you to make tawbah. He loves you that you make tawbah and you turn back to Him. If you truly put your heart and the soul with the correct intention of wanting to please Allah Azza wa Jal, then you can truly change and transform your life from being merely a Muslim by name to a Muslim who follows the guidance of our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So you find that there are some others who find that they're not practicing. They're still on indulging of sins. They're still on making Allah Jal unhappy. But still Allah Jal, you find that He's most merciful, He's a Rahman Rahim, and He's a Ghaffar, who Allah Azza wa Jal, you find that He loves when you make tawbah. He loves to forgive you. He loves to forgive you your sins. So let us start currently, right now even, to start making tawbah bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And becoming a Muslim just by name, there is a problem. You may be calling Muhammad, but you're not practicing Muslim, you're not practicing Islam, then there's a trouble. You need to change yourselves. You need to improve yourself so that you can start now to practice the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. And my brothers and sisters, wallahi, you find that the treasure of this life now, it is to gain the riches of our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam by following and practicing his sunnah. And here now there are a few things that we can all try and do, inshallah. So I'm going to mention at least about 19 points, 19 points inshallah that we can do, so that we can be preparing for this Ramadan bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Number 1, we should be asking now Allah Azza wa Jal to enable you to reach Ramadan and to get the most out of it, as the Salaf they used to do. Now there we are just saying you to ask, to make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal to enable you to reach that Ramadan, because we are just very much few days to Ramadan. It's about 6 or 5 days like that, and we find that we are people who find that they have a little bit of trouble within themselves. They have trouble within themselves because they don't ask Allah Azza wa Jal for anything even. And we find that people, they have been circulating even some dua even in the Whatsapp. Yeah, there's some dua in Whatsapp that's circulated about that Allahumma baligh Ramadan, Allahumma baligh Ramadan before Rajab and Shaban. There's some dua that is circulated, but I find that I went to a shiyukh bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. He was holding a very important, you can say, durus, in which he was talking about the dua that should be made before Ramadan. Now, because of the fact that I want to just mention here that I'm not a muhaddith, and I cannot say that which hadith is authentic and which one is fabricated. And as you know that in my fabricated hadith lessons, I usually make and I give you the fact that I'm not a muhaddith, but this is usually done by a specific scholar like Sheikh Nasiruddin Albani rahimullah ta'ala. I usually mention it. Imam Dahabi has said like that, Imam which one has said like that. I usually mention it so that you can know that Bin Baz has said that this is authentic, this is not authentic. This Shiuk like Nasiruddin Albani rahimullah ta'ala, Ibn Qayyum rahimullah ta'ala, we know all of them, and I usually mention that this has said this and this has said this is fabricated, this is not fabricated. Now, from that Shaykh, he told me that this dua is the one that we should be doing before Ramadan. Now, the hadith is in Sunan at-Tirmidhi. We find that Talha bin Ubaidullah, he said that the Prophet ﷺ will say, if he saw the crescent of the moon before Ramadan, and he will say, Allahumma ahilhu alayna bil yumni wal iman wal salama wal islam rabbi wa rabbuka ala. O Allah, bring it over us with blessing and faith and security and Islam, my Lord and your Lord is Allah. So this is a dua that the Prophet ﷺ, he will say when you will see that crescent of moon before Ramadan. Now we are just very much even near to see it, and maybe you have not even seen it. You should be at least trying to read this dua. So let me recite the dua again. Allahumma ahilhu alayna bil yumni wal iman wal salama wal islam rabbi wa rabbuka a'la. Wa rabbuka Allah, sorry. So this dua we should be trying now to say it before we are seeing that moon, before Ramadan. Even right now you can just start be practicing it. If you are writing notes, write it, and inshallah very good. So first of all, we are saying that we should be asking Allah Jal to enable you now to reach Ramadan. This is a very good dua, because we are saying that Allah Jal, bring this Ramadan over us with the blessing and faith. With blessing and faith. We want this Ramadan to have on us a very important blessing on us. And our iman increases. And there is also security, and there is Islam on us. That means we are following the Islam in the correct way, in a way that we should be following. And we find that also, now there are some other duas now that are circulating on WhatsApp. Now I cannot mention that this is fabricated or not, because of the fact that there is a difference of opinion. But this one, it is sahih. This one is sahih, this is authentic, and we should be reading it. We should be reading. But the others, I don't know. I cannot say that this is the one you should read, but if you want to read it, you can read it. You can say Alamu Balik Ramadana, you can say other one, but I cannot say about it. As usual, I'm not on Muhaddith, but I'll say that most of this one is authentic. You should read this one, Allahumma ahilu ra'ila, okay? And now for the others, here just say even in your language. If you know Urdu, say in Urdu. If you know English, you say in English. If you know in any other language, you say it. You just say, Allah Azza, please Allah, help me reach Ramadan and make me to get the most out of this Ramadan. Make me to get most out of this Ramadan. So just say, Allah, make me reach to Ramadan and help me to get the most out of it. To get the most out of the time of Ramadan and to use it wisely bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. That is the first thing we should be doing. Number two is intend to fast every day with iman and pure intention, seeking the reward from Allah Azza wa Jalla alone. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, whoever fasts in Ramadan with iman and seeking reward from Allah Azza, his past sin will be forgiven. That is in Sahih al-Bukhari, and you find that this is a Sahih Hadith again. This is a Sahih Hadith. So we should be doing what? We should be fasting, and we should be having intention of the fast every day. Every day. Not only you go only one day, the second day you don't do any intention. Do that intention every day. In every day, you do the intention that I'm doing this fast with iman and with a pure intention, just for getting that reward for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. To get the reward for the sake of Allah. You don't do the fast for another person. We are doing this for Allah Azza wa Jal. We should be doing this Ramadan fasting for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. So please let us just intend every day and intend to fast every day with the iman and the pure intention, seeking that reward from Allah Azza wa Jal alone. Okay, that is number 2. Let us go to number 3. I will just say, read the whole Quran at least once, as the Prophet ﷺ did. We find that the Prophet ﷺ, he usually read the Quran, the whole Quran once. Read the whole Quran once during Ramadan, as Jibreel ﷺ used to come, but the one which he came on before he died, they read twice the Quran. It's very much important because the Quran was going to be also, written by the companions and compiled and needed to be preserved in the right way. That's why the angel Jibreel ﷺ, he read 2 times with the Prophet ﷺ. But the Prophet ﷺ usually he read the whole Quran at least once. At least once. That is number 3. At least you should go and read the Quran at least once. I'm not saying something difficult. Don't read 60 like our Imams they used to do. Imam Shafi rahimullah ta'ala. Let us just read at least once. But if you can't do 60, read it. If you can do 30, read it. You can do 20, read it. You can do 10, read it. You can do 7, read it. You can do 3, read it. You can do how many you want. Okay? Read at least many times Quran. Okay. Number 4. Have that suhoor. Have the suhoor, as the Prophet ﷺ, he said, have suhoor because in it there is barakah. In it there is barakah. Now this is very much important. People, they think, no, I don't want to have suhoor. Now the Prophet ﷺ is saying that you should have suhoor because there's a barakah in it. There is something in it in Ramadan that when you have that suhoor, there is barakah in it. What is it in it? There is blessing. Allah Azza put in it. And inshallah, let us have suhoor. Some people, they don't take suhoor. And that is a very, really, you can say, it's an error. It is an error. I cannot say it's haram. It's an error. Because you are losing rewards. You are losing the barakah from Allah Azza wa Jal So really we want to take the suhoor, because when we take suhoor, you find that you will gain the strength to do the ibadah during the daytime of the Ramadan. Yeah, when you take the suhoor, you will have at least, you can go to work by idhnillahi ta'ala, and then you can stay there, and then you can go walk to the masjid also, because you have taken the suhoor, you have now food in your stomach, at least, alhamdulillah, there's something in it, and Allah Azza wa Jalla put blessing in it, so you can go to work even by foot, even when you don't need a car to go to work, alhamdulillah, shukrillah. That's very much good, important. Have suhoor, because there is blessing in it. Number 5, make dua during the fasting, because the Prophet ﷺ, he said that 3 people's supplication, it is not rejected, and one of them, it is the fasting person. Ask for the good of this life, and the next for yourself, your family, and Muslims in general. Now, inshallah, first of all, I just want to explain that making dua during that fast is very much important also. People now, they don't make even dua when they are fasting, but they only make dua when they have finished fasting only. My friend, what's happening is that Ramadan, it is a time now to make a lot of dua. There's a time to make a lot of dua, and I know that in my lectures, I have not put any lecture that we're going to talk about Ramadan and dua. I wanted to put it, but inshallah, we find that there have been a little bit of difficulties on us, as we wanted also to do every day Ramadan, we wanted to do a lecture. We wanted to do it. Durus is very much important every day. But we find that even in some mosques, there are at least durus that are happening, and there's some dars that are happening, but in other mosques, there's even not any durus that is happening. And this is usually done especially for the sisters, as you know. These lectures usually done for the sisters, because most of them, they have a lot of work. They are maybe reading, they're learning. No, they're working maybe. No, they work. And they don't have time. As you know, because they don't have time, as they are doing a lot of work. And they are cooking food. After they are cooking food now, maybe they go and read the Quran. And then now you find that they don't know what they should do more than reading the Quran during the Ramadan. And that's why I'm doing this lecture even before Ramadan, because it will help us. These reminders, it benefits the believers. It benefits the believers. And that's why you find that we are saying here that we should be doing dua even during your fasting. As we find that this will not be rejected. As the Prophet ﷺ, he said, one supplication of a person who is fasting is not rejected. So when you're fasting, maybe after Salah even, you can do a dua. During the Salah, you can do the dua. In the Sajda time, you can do the dua. You can do while you're fasting. While you are fasting, my friends, you can do dua even at any time, when you're working, when you're in job, when you are in the traveling, maybe even, or when you're going from a school, or you're going from there to university, or going to your work, you're going to a job. On the way you're going to, you can do the dua. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala is always correct, and it's always good even to do dua, especially when you're doing during fasting, when you're in fasting. Now, what should you ask? And also I've mentioned here that you should be asking for the good of this life, and the next for yourself, for your family, and also for the Muslim in general. And I usually do this dua. I usually do this dua. Rabbik firli wali walidayya wal mu'minina wal mu'minat. Rabbik firli wali walidayya wal mu'minina wal mu'minat. Rabbik firli wali walidayya wal mu'minina wal mu'minat. What is this dua saying? So one may ask that what is the meaning of the dua? Rabbig firli. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, oh Rabb, ghafirli, forgive my sins. Wali walidayya, Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive the sins of my parents. Wal mu'minina, and forgive the sins of the believing men. Wal mu'minat, and of the believing women. So that's the dua that we should be reciting. That is for asking Allah for forgiveness. And you find that also when you ask and when you pray the dua for this whole of the people, also you find that all of this dua, it will come back to you, and also your sins will be forgiven as much as of the Muslims that are available in the world. If there are 3.7 billion, all of 3.7 billion that in you, your sins will be forgiven, because you are praying on the back of the people, Also, it will be said unto you, Ameen, as we said. There's a hadith mentioning Angel Jibreel alayhi, when you find that you are praying a dua for someone else, then he will say Ameen also for you, because you're reading. So you get the blessings of all of this. You have asked forgiveness. And also there's another dua I can say. Now there's a dua, the dua which is also mentioned in the Quran, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana, you're asking Allah Azza Jal to bless me on this life that you have. Give me good on the worldly life, of fil akhirati hasana, and also on the akhirah you give me good, that is on the hereafter. Wakina adhab an-nar, and you protect me from the Jahannam, nar. Wakina adhab an-nar, protect from that adhab of nar, the hellfire. You are asking for protection of the hellfire. So you are asking also here again a very very important thing. You are asking goodness in the worldly life, goodness in the worldly life, and also you are asking goodness in the akhirah, and you are also asking Allah to protect you from the punishment of the hellfire. That is also very much important. We can be asking this dua especially during Ramadan, when you are fasting. And also you can say, now also you can be asked, so you have already asked now for the good of this life, and the next for yourself. Also you should be asking for your family, for your family, for your parents, for your children, for your wife, for your sister, for your cousins, not all your family, alhamdulillah, and also for the Muslim in general, mu'mineen wal mu'minat. You'll be asking for the believing men and for the believing women, and inshallah that will be very much good, that we'll be making dua during it. Number 6. Now we have mentioned that in number 5 already, that you should make dua during the fast, while you are fasting. Now number 6, you're making the dua before you open the fast, because the Prophet ﷺ said the fasting person, he has a supplication that is answered, and that is when he opens his fast. So when you are opening your fast, my beloved brothers and sisters, please make a supplication, at least 1, 2, 3, several dua. Make it. It will be accepted bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, because of the fact that when you're opening, you find that you make dua. Say a very important dua that is very much important while you are opening the fast. Now bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, inshallah, you find that there are some dua that are mentioned. I don't know, when before you open your fast, people, they make some other duas, and this dua, I cannot say much about it. Some people now, they recite a dua before opening their fast, and this is wrong, because I want to just mention the dua that you should be reciting after fasting, not before you open the fast. People now, they recite some dua before they open their fast, but this is wrong. Let us recite this dua. Hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, and it is in the Sunan Abu Dawud, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will say, after breaking the fast, hear this, after you are breaking the fast, you should recite this dua. ذهب ذما وذبت الأروق وابتل أجر inshallah. The thirst has gone, the veins have been filled, and the ajr, inshallah, it is conferred. Okay? ذهب ذما وذبت الأروق وثبت الأجر inshallah. ذهب ذما وذهبت الأروق وذهبت الأجر inshallah. The thirst has gone, the veins have been filled, and the Ajr, inshallah, it is conferred. So this is very much important. A dua, that is now the authentic dua. These are the authentic dua, my friends. Don't go to another dua that is saying to you that you recite this before you open the fast. That's wrong. Or you recite this, I don't know, before you are even going to fast. I don't know. There are some people who at the beginning of the fast they say nawaitu sawmi ghad. This is wrong. This is wrong. Or another person is saying at the beginning of fast that wa bi sawmi ghadin. This is wrong. I don't even want to mention it because it is not in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, as we find that it is very much important that the intention, it is by heart. Intention is by heart. Now, as you mentioned here that when you're making the dua before you open the fasting or before you open the fast, this is very much important that you understand that before you open the fast, you make only a usual dua that you do. You just say, Allah Jal, grant us, inshallah, Jannah. Allahumma ajirni minan nar. You ask Allah Jal to grant you paradise and to protect you from the hellfire. That's the dua that you should be asking. Or you ask Allah Jal, Allahumma anta rabbi la ilaha illa anta khalaqtani wa ana abduka wa ana ala ahdika wa wa'dika mastata'tu a'udhu bika min sharri ma sanatu abu'u laka بنعمتك علي وأبو لك بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. You ask this type of dua in which you say you do istighfar before you open the fast. That's it, the only dua, Allahumma inna saluka al-jannah, Allahumma ajirni minan an-nar. You just say this three times. It's good. It's good for you, So that is the type of dua that you should be asking instead of asking a dua which is not even mentioned in the sunnah. Ask a dua which is acceptable. Don't ask a dua that is not even mentioned in the sunnah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you should make a dua may Allah Jal grant us Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my father to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my mother to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my children to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my grandmother to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my grandmother to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal grant my wife to Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah Jal make my wife to be guided. May Allah Jal guide my wife to the straight path of Islam. And may Allah Jal put us in the right path of Islam. And may Allah Jal guide us. Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim. Make us to be on the path that is Siratal al-Mustaqim. So you should be asking this type of dua before you open the fast. And now, inshallah, after you have opened the fast and you have eaten at least one or two, dates like that, then you say dhahaba dhama wa thabat al-uruq wa thabat al-ajr, inshallah. That is very much important. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we should be asking much dua, as we mentioned, even during when you are in fasting. Number 7, we should be giving sadaqah and you should be good to people. The Prophet ﷺ, he was the most generous of the people, and he was the most generous in Ramadan. So giving sadaqah is very much important, and especially on the fact that we are currently on the fact that people in Ramadan, especially, we see much generosity from the Muslim brothers and sisters. That's a good thing, and you can see that this practice, we should be practicing what the Prophet ﷺ is saying us to do, and that is very much good. We should give a lot more sadaqah, especially in Ramadan, and we should be good to people. Smile. That is sadaqah even. Smiling even is sadaqah. Removing a stone from the rod is sadaqah. Removing a stick from the rod is sadaqah. And talking even good is sadaqah. Talking with people in a good way. Assalamu Alaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. How are you? Fine. Alhamdulillah. How is going on? If everything good? And if you find that you are far from a family, you should be asking also them. You're good to your family also. Good to your family, not only for the people who are outside, but also good to your family. That's also very much important. Number 8. Number 8 now. Avoid anything that diminishes the fast, such as, lying. We should be avoiding this thing. Like, we should be avoiding also backbiting. We should be avoiding cheating. We should be avoiding cheating. We should be avoiding getting angry. We should be avoiding getting angry. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, whoever does not give up false statement, that is, he does not give up telling lies, and the evil deeds and the speaking of even bad words to others, Allah is not in need of his fasting, of his leaving his food and drink. It is in Sahih al-Bukhari. It's in Sahih al-Bukhari. And this is very much important, that we should be avoiding these things. We should be avoiding telling lies. We should be avoiding doing evil deeds. We should be avoiding speaking bad words to others. We should be avoiding doing the thing which Allah does not like. Yeah? We should be avoiding those things. And we should be doing things which Allah likes. He likes that you do good to others. He likes that you help one another. You do sadaqah. You read Quran. Okay? That is very much important. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And you find that we go to a very much important thing. I don't know what's the problem here. We find that people nowadays, they are in a trend of eating too much. So that's why number 9 we say that do not eat too much after iftar, as you will feel bloated. Your stomach, will be very much big like that. You will feel tired, and also you will feel unable to pray the Tarawih. Yeah, this is very much important. Don't eat too much, especially when it is after iftar. After iftar, people, they eat a lot of, and this is a problem. This is a problem. We should be reducing this thing. We should not be eating too much, even especially after iftar, as you'll not be able to pray even Tarawih in a proper way. It's not in khushu. Khushu is very much important in Tarawih, especially. And people sometimes even leave that Isha prayer. This is a problem. Also, avoid cooking all day, as this will help you to keep away from, or as this will keep you away from reading the Quran or doing other good deeds. You find that people, especially the sisters, they are cooking all the day. What are you doing in the kitchen? You are cooking still, and the fact that this will keep you from reading the Quran. And some people now, you find that nowadays they are on their phones, especially the brothers, sisters. Brothers, sisters. I don't want to remove you from that chapter, because you are also doing these things. Yeah? Don't do this. I'm telling you, we should be changing this attitude of ours, and we should be people who should be avoiding these things of eating too much. Yeah, we should be avoiding eating too much, especially after iftar. We should be eating less. And this is very much important for us, as this will help us. This will help us. We will find that when you eat less after iftar, you will be good, you will be fit, and you will be able to go to Tarawih prayers in a right way, a khushu way. And for the sisters, I'm saying that avoid cooking all day. So you find that if you be cooking all the day, you will not be able to read the Quran. Avoid your phones. Sisters also, brothers also, avoid phones, as this will be very harmful to you. And find that number 10, now we should be avoid wasting time by watching TV and socializing with the friends. I've gotten you. You're a person who's watching TV, wasting your time. Ramadan people, they are doing good deeds, and you are watching TV doing nothing. You're watching TV. What are you doing? What's in the TV that doesn't make you, You want to read news? Okay? My friend, I'm going to tell you, just read the newspaper, or you can go to your, go to that website, which is Daily Mail or Telegraph. I don't know the meaning. Just go to one of them and read within 5 minutes and finish the stories. Just read the headlines. Which is important, you go and read more. Don't waste your time there. People are wasting their time on that watching of television. Let us close the television during Ramadan. Let us close that television during Ramadan. As if we close it, then you find that we'll be able to do good deeds. We'll be able to concentrate on reading the Quran. You'll be able to concentrate on helping others, on doing good things. But now people, they're still socializing with friends. And inshallah, this will find that even outside the masajid, people, they are socializing other than going to read the Quran in the masajid or doing dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. What are you doing? Have you read the whole Quran today? Yes, I've read. But you need to do more. You have read maybe this Ramadan, or last Ramadan, you read only one time the Quran. Now let us make the intention of reading twice. Next Ramadan, thrice. putting fourth wife, fifth wife, sixth wife, putting more and more, more and more and more. That is the goal of the believer. And that's why I find that we're doing more. Yeah. We should be spreading more things. Yeah. But you find that still people that are wasting time socializing with their friends. Now the friends you can socialize after Ramadan, my friends. Please, socialize with them after Ramadan. Right now in Ramadan we need to do a lot of work. I need to read the Quran this time. We need to read Quran thrice. I need to read Quran 4 times. So let us try much harder on the Quran, reading Quran more, and like that. Other than wasting time by watching TV and socializing with friends. Avoid watching TV and avoid socializing with the friends. Number 11 is try to give up any haram things you may do, such as listening to music. Try to give up this haram thing. You have people that are listening music a lot, and this is very much of the fact that they say is wrong, and this is absolutely wrong, as you find that so one may be asking about the evidence of this, and this is very much important for us. We go to Surah Al-Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 6. It says وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ علم. Now this one is very much important verse in Surah Al-Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 6, in which Bidina Ta'ala it mentions that and of mankind it is he who purchases the idle talks. Now idle talks here, it means music or singing to mislead the man from the path of Allah. Now the scholar of the Ummah, who is Ibn Abbas Rahimullah radiallahu anhu, he said this means singing, and Mujahid, may Allah have mercy on him, he said this means playing the drum, which is tabl. That is in Tafsir At-Tabari. Now Al-Hasan al-Basri, he may rahimullah ta'ala say that this ayah was revealed concerning the singing and musical instrument. Again, I am telling you that this is in Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Now you find that many people, they may be shocked that this verse in Surah Al-Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 6, how does it mention that it is not mentioned directly that it's music, but you find that the word that is being used here, it is showing that it is music. Yeah, you can see that it is using music, and you find that still people, they don't agree that this is music. But you find that that is now the problem that comes when people, they don't learn about the tafsir of the Quran. They don't learn about the glorious Quran. So that's why I'm saying that number 11 point, that we should be trying to give up any haram things that you may do, like listening to music is haram. Now smoking is also haram. And one may ask that how is smoking haram? So we say that. Now the person may ask, what is the evidence that smoking is haram? We go to the verse in Surah An-Nisa first. Please let us understand. The ruling comes from the Quran first. Allah Jal, he says in Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 29, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, and do not kill your own self. Do not kill yourself. Allah is saying that Inna Allaha kana bikum rahima. Allah is merciful unto you. Do not kill yourself. Surah An-Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 29. In addition, the Prophet ﷺ said, La darar wa la dirar. There is no harm or causing of harm in Islam. People that are causing harm in Islam by the using of cigarette, as it is a major cause of lung cancer and other diseases. It is one of the major causes of death. If you can see in the UN and many of the World Health Organization are mentioning it, because there is causing of harm here. And also the Prophet ﷺ said that a person will not be able to move on the day of judgment until he is asked about his body as to what he engaged it in. So smoking also it goes against the saying of the Prophet ﷺ that your body has a right on you. So that makes the fact that it is a sin and it is haram. The smoking is haram bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that is enough to say that smoking is haram. And also another thing that you should be able to try to give up during Ramadan is to drink alcohol. We should not drink alcohol. We should also not take drugs. And that is drugging abuse in a way that it is not acceptable in Islam. You're taking drugs which are harmful to your health. Example, bang and like that, cocaine. And also you should not be socializing with the opposite gender, including having the boy or girlfriend. So you should be stopping these type of things as it is haram. And also we should be making the tawbah or repentance from it, because of the fact that now we are in Ramadan. We are in Ramadan, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We should be remembering that we should be making tawbah of these sins that we usually make in everyday calls, and we should be stopping this time. So that's why I'm saying that in our 11th now advice to this Ramadan, a reminder, it is trying to give up any haram things that you may do. Okay. Number 12. Also, we should be asking for forgiveness, since this is the month Allah's Jal, He frees people from the fire. As mentioned that the month of Ramadan, it is a month that we should be asking Allah's Jal for forgiveness. And Tawbah, it is only asked when you find that there is easiness of the answering of the supplication. And Ramadan is that time. So at least even if it is daytime or it's nighttime, you should be asking it, and mostly during the fasting time it will be very much acceptable, for the fact that it is very much the supplication, it is accepted the most of the time. So you should be asking for forgiveness, since this is the month Allah's Jal frees the people from the hellfire. Number 13, we say that pray all the prayers at the masjid. Pray the prayers in the masjid, in the congregation. Try to do all the sunnah salats which are connected to these 5 daily prayers. Inshallah, find that this is very much important. If you can pray all your prayers in the masjid, pray it. But if you find that it's difficult on you, or you find that your home is very much far, or you find that there is something, maybe you have a reason that is best known to you, then it is really very much to know for the fact that we should be trying our best. Should be trying our best to pray the prayers in the masajid, but inshallah that is dependent upon you at the place where you are staying, and especially for the fact that we find most people, they have maybe difficulty in going to the mosque, especially for the people who are sick, or people who you find that they are old. Then we cannot put the exception that you must go, but we say that pray at your house, at least bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But to find that we should be trying to pray these prayers in the masajid, Alhamdulillah. Number 14, we can say that make the tasbih after every salat. You should be trying to make the tasbih after every salat. We say Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, Allahu Akbar 33 times, and La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahu mulku wa lahu hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir, once. Now what is the significance of saying this? So this is mentioned in the hadith of Sahih al-Muslim. The hadith says that reported by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that whoever glorifies Allah and he says Subhanallah 33 times immediately after each prayer, and he praises Allah by saying Alhamdulillah 33 times, and magnifies Allah by saying Allahu Akbar 33 times, this makes 99. And then to complete 100, he says La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahu mulku wa lahu hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir. Then his sins will be forgiven, even if they are like the foam of the sea. So this is now the dhikr that we usually say, that at least make that tasbih after every salah, so that you can have all of your sins, even as the form of seed, to be forgiven. And that is what we want. We want our sins to be forgiven. And that is why we need to do something of it. We need to learn about this adhkar, and there are many more, but I just want to put on that, so that at least we can do this bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Number 15, we say that pray at Tarawih with khushu'. This is again very much important, that if you pray in the masjid, you complete the salah with the imam. And if you are praying at your home, prolong the salah as long as you can. And the Prophet ﷺ is saying that whoever prays during Ramadan with the iman and seeking reward from Allah Azza Jal, his past sins will be forgiven. So you should be praying a lot during Ramadan with our iman, with seeking the reward from Allah Azza Jal. Will be forgiven our sin bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. That's very much important. That is what we want bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Number 16, what next shall we do? Feed the poor and invite others for iftar. As the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever gives iftar to someone who's fasting, he will have the same reward without decreasing the reward of the person's fasting. So this again is a very important thing. So this again is a showing of the fact that we should be feeding the poor a lot in the time of Ramadan, and this is something that's very much important, because of the fact that when we feeding the poor, then this is a showing of the fact that we are wanting the reward from Allah Jal. That if we feed the poor, we want to get even that reward of feeding the poor. And bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, also when you're inviting others for iftar, and when you're talking about inviting others for iftar, it is recommended that we do such a thing, and we gain a lot of reward. So in that we should be trying to invite, and trying to invite here bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, what it means is that we can call others into our home. And inshallah also you can maybe put a food bazaar in, or can say food iftar in the masajid, in which you find that you can be calling the people, and bi-idhnillahi ta'ala you can tell them that we are having in this masjid that there is going to be iftar bi-idhnillahi ta'ala on maybe Saturday or maybe Sunday or maybe Monday, and then inshallah you're gonna put the money and feed the people bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Also that is the way you can invite others for iftar. And when you do that, then you will be having the same reward of the people who have fasted bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Also, we should be doing to feed the poor people, in which when you're on the streets and you find that there is only one person you want to give, that's even that person is a non-Muslim, then we should be trying our best to give that person. And even there is non-Muslim or Muslim, you should be giving to all of them bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and that will get us reward of feeding the poor. Number 17, now what we shall do is that we shall try harder the last 10 nights, and especially with the one which is the odd nights. The Prophet ﷺ, he will strive in Ramadan more than he will do in any other month, and more so in the last 10 days. That's a very important thing, that we find that from the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that we should be tightening our belts on that time, in which we should be doing a lot of good deeds at that time, and a lot of prayers. The important thing it is to pray, and especially at night time. Because you can see that is last 10 nights, not days, last 10 nights. And especially the one which is the odd nights, we should be doing a lot of good deeds, especially at the night, in which you're gonna be praying, and you're gonna take that time on reading the glorious Quran, and doing a lot of deeds at that night time is the one that makes us to be with the Prophet ﷺ, who you find that he was spending the whole night in prayer. And that is now what we want to do. You should at least try not spending the whole night, because you find that people, they also have jobs and they have a little bit of work. So we can say for them that they should be trying their best they can do in extending at least a little bit of 1 hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours of their night to pray for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Then bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, what next can we do? Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, number 18 is that we should be saying this dua in the nights that is in Laylatul Qadr, that is likely to fall on, and we find that is the last odd 10 nights, or even you can say the last 10 nights. You should be striving on saying this dua, whether it is morning or it is at night time. And this one, it is mentioned by hadith of Aisha radiallahu anhu, where she said that she asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what should I say when I'm looking for the Laylatul Qadr? What should I say? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he taught her to say, Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are the afu. What is afu? The all forgiving, and you love to forgive, so forgive me. You love forgiveness, so forgive me. And that is what we should be striving to say on the last 10 nights in which you're searching for Laylatul Qadr. And bi'idhnillah, also this is one among the topics inshallah we're gonna say and we're gonna talk on about. And this is a reminder, and the reminder that benefits the believers. So we should be trying. This is very much important to say this dua. Even if it's at the time of the morning, we should be doing it still. And it is recommended at night. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So inshallah now, we say number 19 now, that what we should be doing next is that we should be asking Allah Azza wa Jal to accept all your good action during this month. You should be asking Allah Azza wa Jal to accept now all your good action during this month of Ramadan. You should find that you may not know which action may be accepted, and you may find that only some of it may be accepted. That's why I usually say that we should be asking Allah Jalla every time, here and again, please Allah Jalla accept our good deeds, please Allah Jalla accept our good deeds. And that is now what we should be doing every time, even after a salah, even if it is after you have given maybe your zakat, you have given your you have done your hajj, or maybe you have done your fasting. We should be asking Allah Jalla, please Allah Jalla accept our fasting. And that is what we should be doing in it, because in accepting of these good deeds, now that is what we want, and everybody wants his good deeds to be accepted bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And when we find that our good deed, only one good deed is accepted, then you'll be very much happy, because of the fact that a good deed that is accepted, that is even better than the good deeds that you find that you have done and it is not accepted. So you should be doing and asking Allah Jal to accept our good deeds. Now, inshallah, that is the 19 tips that I wanted to give you bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, so that we can prepare this for our Ramadan as our Ramadan reminder bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So inshallah, that is now what I wanted to have talk about. And inshallah, I want to give just a little bit tip on how you can complete the Quran in Ramadan. I think that some of you, they've already started even to read the glorious Quran as soon as possible, and that is a very great thing, and I can say that I allowed unto you that you have done a very good thing, and you should be keep on doing that. But how can we complete the Quran in Ramadan? I find that the Quran, it has 600 pages. Yeah, I know some of them, they have 604 or 603. But if you look into it, there's 604, and if you look into it, you'll find that we can even do it, because the last few surahs of the Quran, they're not very much. So you can say that if you divide it into 30 days, 600 divided by 30, what do we get? 20 pages a day. That means you need to read 20 pages a day, and you see that's a difficult thing to do. Is it difficult? No. Good. But if you finally divide it between the 5 daily prayers a day, it gets very much easier. That means you need to read 4 pages after every salah in Ramadan. Then you complete the Quran. Or even better, what you can do is that if you want to complete the Quran twice, then you read 4 pages before and 4 pages after each salah. 4 pages before and 4 pages after each salah. Then you will be able to read Quran twice. So why not should we maximize this reward and we forward this bi'idhnillahi ta'ala audio to everyone else. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, inshallah, find that I know we have 2 types of people. The people that maybe they get this message, they don't even forward to anyone. And some people, when they get this audio, they don't even care. I know that this audio is a big, in terms of the file, it's very big. But it's very beneficial for us to learn about it. And I just want to mention that this was our day 1 lecture, which is Ramadan is coming, and this is a reminder for us. We have done it, inshallah, Sunday today, Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, 21st of May 2017. Alhamdulillah, we have finished it in a correct way. Now I want you just to, if you have gotten this message maybe in YouTube, share it to others. Subscribe to our YouTube page. And also, if you've gotten it in our Facebook, like our group, Alhamdulillah. And also you can share it to others. And if you're in WhatsApp, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I tell you that you share now this audio to others, even if you are in WhatsApp, share it to others. And inshallah, please please try to understand these things that we have said, and we ask Allah to help us. Inshallah, we find that as we know that this is our first annual Ramadan Dawah WhatsApp group event, and Alhamdulillah, we are expecting it to be successful because we are creating, Alhamdulillah, these lectures for the sake of Allah. May Allah He accept it, and we're expecting also this to be spread all over. I finish by saying that day 2, inshallah, we are going to have that is on 26th May 2017, which will be on Friday. Inshallah, we are going to talk about a summarized fiqh of fasting, Siyam. Summarized fiqh of Siyam or fasting. And it's very important to know at least the fiqh of it. That's why we say that Ikra, to know our religion. To know this religion is very much important. And also we say that Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu Aleikum Warahmatullahi, Wabarakatuh.
If you're looking for a book to read that's gonna give you what you need, the Quran is like a light. The readers, they shine so bright. It shows us the way to go. Before it we did not know. When you put it in your heart, I think you're gonna say, I love Quran. First you gotta read it, then you understand it, then you wanna say, I love Quran. When you understand it, then you gotta do